there. What's the biggest promise a parent ever broke to you? When I was 9, my mother swore she'd never gamble again. I remember the exact night. She was sitting on the bathroom floor with the door open, and my grandmother was in the hallway saying words I'd never heard her use. Mom had spent the rent at the riverboat casino 2 towns over. She looked up at me and said, "I promise you, sweetheart, on your life, never again." And for 3 months, it was the best 3 months of my childhood. She picked me up from school every day. She started cooking again, actual meals, not cereal. We drove out to the reservoir on Saturdays and she taught me to skip stones, and she was good at it. She could get 7 or 8, and I couldn't get past 2. And she'd laugh at me until I laughed too. My grandmother stopped calling every night to check. Then came the school play. I had 4 lines in it, but they were the 4 best lines, and I'd practice them at the kitchen table until Mom could say them along with me. She promised she'd be front row. She said she'd be the embarrassing one, the one who whoops. I found her seat from the stage. It was empty. It stayed empty. I said my 4 lines to an empty chair, and then I sat in the wings and watched the rest of the play with my hands in my lap. She came home at 2 in the morning. I know because I was awake for all of it. She sat on my bed smelling like cigarettes and carpet cleaner and said she just lost track of time. That became the shape of our life. She'd vanish for a night, then a weekend. She'd come back hollow-eyed and full of plans. "This time I mean it," she'd say. "I'm done, I swear." She meant it every time. That was the part that took me years to understand. She always meant it. When I was 12, the power got shut off in January and we slept in coats for 4 days. When I was 14, I came home and my grandmother's ring was gone from the dish on the dresser, and Mom told me she'd misplaced it. I let her tell me that for 2 years. By high school, I stopped telling her when things were happening. Awards night, conferences, the day I made varsity, I just didn't mention them. It was easier than watching the door. My grandmother came instead, sitting alone in the bleachers in her good coat. The night before I turned 17, Mom knocked on my door clear-eyed and steady. "Tomorrow's yours," she said. "I'm taking the whole day off. Just us. Reservoir, stones." I knew better. I'd known better for 8 years. And some stupid part of me still set an alarm. She wasn't there in the morning. Her car came back Sunday night. I found her purse on the counter with a payout slip in it for $400, which somehow made it worse. She'd won and still hadn't come home. That evening, I went through the shoebox of photos from those 3 good months. The ones at the reservoir where we're both squinting into the sun. I cut myself out of every one and left the pieces on her pillow. At 18, I got into a school 6 hours away on scholarship. When I told my grandmother, she cried into my shoulder in the driveway. The night before I left, Mom came to my room with clean hair and clear eyes and said, "I'm getting help. Real help. When you come back at Christmas, it'll be different." I nodded. I'd stopped believing her sometime around 6th grade. 6 weeks into that first semester, my grandmother called. Mom had walked into a Gamblers Anonymous meeting in the basement of a church, and she'd gone back the next night and the night after. I came home at Christmas ready for the floor to give out. She met me at the bus station. Clear. 91 days. All weekend I waited for the crack in it and it didn't come. She had a sponsor who called at 9 every night. She'd taken a second job to start paying my grandmother back. She'd repainted my room. When I left, she hugged me stiffly and said, "I know you don't believe me. You shouldn't. I'm just going to keep showing up." She called every Sunday after that. Never missed one. She never once asked me to forgive her. She just told me about her week and asked about my classes. For my 19th birthday, an envelope came with a photograph in it. One of the reservoir ones, taped back together. My 9-year-old face lined with a seam. On the back she'd written, "Whenever you want." I didn't go that summer. Or the next. But I kept every card. Last spring, I graduated. 6 years clean, she stood at the back of the crowd and didn't wave, didn't push forward. She waited until I found her. "I'm proud of you," she said. "I know, Mom," I said, and this time I believed it. Some promises take a lifetime to break. Some take just as long to keep. And if you're very lucky, a few